everyone, so today's video is kind of just like an introducing Ryleigh to you guys and then also talking about my birth story. I really want to talk about it and I've been wanting to film this for a while, but this past week and a half I have been so tired and honestly feeling like I'm on the brink of getting sick because of all the lack of sleep. But I finally have like enough energy today to film it. And again, I really want to introduce you guys to her. I also did a birth vlog too, which will be going up on my vlog channel, which is called Life of Maddie. So if you guys didn't know I had another channel, make sure to go check it out. It is linked down below. And also I've been posting a ton of pictures of Ryleigh over on Instagram. And my Instagram is Madison 89 Miller, but I also made her one too, which is Ryleigh Rhae Miller. And you guys can easily find it off of mine. But I really wanted to have her so that way I had like all her pictures and like all my baby content on one Instagram, and then also for family because a lot of the grandmas and the grandpas love seeing pictures of her, so it makes it really easy just to have her own little Instagram where I kind of like update pictures every now and then. And then also I really want to create like those little books where you can print out your photos from your Instagram and have like this whole book for the whole year. So I thought that would be really cool to do as well. So if you guys want to go see pictures of her, make sure to go check that one out. And also I want to let you guys know, over on our boutique shop Juliet Rose, we just launched a whole ton of new fall pieces. I haven't like really like promoted it a ton just because I've been really busy with Ryleigh and I handle all that stuff myself, but I am wearing one of the sweaters right now. This is like the color block sweater and it comes with the joggers as well. It's a really nice thin material. I've honestly been living in this and I love it. The size that I'm wearing is a medium right now because I'm still recovering from the baby weight, but it definitely runs really nice. I like it too because it's a little bit bigger on me right now, so it makes it easy for me to lift up for nursing. But it's so comfortable, so lightweight, and it allows you to be comfortable but not like get too hot because it's still really hot right now. Even though it's the fall time, it's still really hot outside, but I still like to be kind of like covered up and comfortable right now while I'm lounging with her throughout the day. Definitely check out the new fall launches. I will have it linked down below for you guys as well, but I definitely recommend this color blocked one. Like I have been living in it. It is so comfortable. But now that I updated you guys with everything, because I feel like I haven't filmed in so long because I have everything pre-filmed, so you're still going to see more videos of me when I was pregnant because I pre-filmed a ton because I didn't know when I was going to be ready to get back to filming, but I really wanted to do this video for you guys. So I'm going to go grab her and I will be right back. So here's a little Ryleigh Rhae. How are you, little one? She has the hiccups right now, so she gets the hiccups quite frequently. I know that gripe water works for them, but she's not 2 weeks old yet, so that's something that we're gonna try when she turns 2 weeks to see if they'll help the hiccups. But we just try to keep her upright, especially after feedings and during feedings, and I've noticed that's kind of like brought them down. But yeah, here she is. She's actually awake. All she does is want to sleep. But you are so cute. You're giving me the mug face. She has these really cute little mean mug faces and they just make my day. It is so cute and I love it. Yes, I do. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick little cameo of Ryleigh, but I'm gonna go ahead and give her back to her daddy and we will talk all about the birth story. About giving birth to you. Yes. You need to go back to sleep. All you do is eat, sleep, poop, repeat. That's what she does. Huh, that's all you do. That's all you do. Yeah. Okay, let's go give you back to daddy. All right, so there is little Ryleigh. I know, isn't she so cute? But it's really hard to hold her while doing a video. So she's with her dad now, but I wanna go ahead and just talk to you guys all about the birth story. I am gonna have that birth vlog up on my vlog channel. I'm gonna try to finish editing that today, and hopefully I can get that up tomorrow with this video. So if I can, then I will have that link down below so you guys can go check that out. It's pretty long, so just get ready. Now to get into the story. So first off, I want to say is that I was talking to Joel's cousin. She has 4 kids, and she was telling me that the one thing that worked for her with all of her kids was spicy food. So I told Joel, I was like, let's try spicy food. So what we did is we went to Panda Express. We got the 3 spiciest chickens that you could possibly get. And we ate that the night before. And then I also had the leftovers the next day. And the next day was October 11th. So I had leftovers for lunch. And then around 3 p.m., I went to the restroom and I felt a thud like in my stomach. Like it was weird. It was like a thud. And it kind of like the way I described it, which when I described it to the nurses, they kind of looked at me weird because I guess it is a pretty weird way to describe it. But picture yourself in a room and something like a piece of furniture falling over and hitting the ground. That's what it felt like in my stomach. So I felt the thud, but I was going to the bathroom, so I didn't really notice anything. So I called my mom afterwards and I was like, I just had this really weird feeling. It was like a thud in my stomach. I don't know what it was. And she's like, you need to call the doctor. You need to call the doctor. I'm like, well, I've already called them so much and I was just in there for false labor. I go, I'm just going to kind of like wait this out and see. So she's getting mad at me though. So I'm sitting there on my little sleeping chair, which if you follow me, you know what the sleeping chair is. I'm sitting on my sleeping chair and I kind of readjust myself. And then I noticed that water came out and I was like, what was that? I did not just pee myself. I literally just went to the restroom and I didn't feel like I had to go to the bathroom either. So I felt like water come out and I was like, whoa there. So I ran to the restroom. I saw that my underwear was like filled. And then I was like, oh shoot, like what is going on? So, and it wasn't like a ton, it was just a little bit. And so I called my mom and I was like, I have a feeling my water just broke. And she's like, oh my God, you need to go to the doctors. I told you to call the doctors. You need to go right now. And as I was talking to her and I would walk around, more would come out each time I would walk. Like if I adjusted my body in somehow. So I felt like I had like a slow leak, like maybe her head or something was blocking the hole and water would come out each like a little bit at a time. So yeah, so I called Joel. He was out running errands and I was like, my water just broke, I think. I think we need to get to the hospital right away. He came home. We quickly grabbed our stuff. We headed over to the hospital. The funny thing is that the dogs were at the groomers, so then we had to deal with that. So luckily my parents, like they were heading to the hospital, but they decided to do a U-turn, grab my dogs from the groomers, which they weren't even completely done yet, so they kind of have botched haircuts right now. And they dropped them off at our house, and we got the dog sitter to come over and stay with them for the night. So yeah, after that, we headed to the hospital. We got to the hospital about 4. When you go into labor and delivery, they have this other like little mini room, like where they just examine you, like to make sure that you're actually in labor and blah, blah, blah. And that's where I was for the false alarm. But as I'm waiting there, because we called them ahead of time and I told them my water broke. And so we got there and they were about to bring me in that little examine room and they're like, oh, we need to check you before we admit you. And I'm like, my water broke. And the lady was like, your water broke? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, it's literally leaking right now. I was having to wear a pad and I had to sit on top of a towel in the car. And oh, by the way, the car ride, Joel, if you guys don't know my husband, he's a professional race car driver and he was looking so forward to this car ride and he had fun. He had a ton of fun with the car ride and I about had a coronary, but made it safely to the hospital. You guys will check that out on the vlog. But we made it safely to the hospital. So that part happened. So she's like, oh, so your water broke. So that means we need to just bring you in and admit you. So I get into the bigger delivery room where I would actually stay. And they have me change and then they have to check me to make sure that it definitely did break. So they go in there with their little swab and everything. And they have to bring it down like in a microscope and whatnot to see if my water actually broke. And sure enough, it did break. So they were like, okay, your water did break. We are admitting you right now. And then also I tested positive for group B strep, which is like a bacteria that is found in every woman, but it's more active in others. And if it's active in you while you give birth, then you could get the baby sick. So they have to give you so many antibiotics beforehand. So it's nothing like too crazy serious. It's just you make sure you get your antibiotics, which is why we rushed to the hospital so quickly after my water breaking, because I knew I had to get those antibiotics. So we got me hooked up. We got my antibiotics. We were all ready to go. Family started showing up. And my contractions started the second it broke. Cause like even when I was on the bath, like on the even when I was going to the bathroom and I had that thud, right when I had that thud, I had an instant contraction. And then they started coming closer and closer together. So they were coming and it was not fun. Contractions are no fun at all. So Joel really helped me out. Like the midwife really showed us ways of like how to help battle them before getting an epidural or any type of pain medication. So we had me sit on a ball and like kind of move my hips from side to side, and then he would put pressure on my lower hips when I would have a contraction, and it would really help. Like that helped a ton. Lower back would help a ton, like the massaging of the lower back. So we did that a lot. But it soon got to a point where I just could not handle, I can't handle pain. And I said this beforehand, which is why I said I was going to get the epidural, is I can't handle pain. I get really lightheaded and I could faint if I have too much pain. And I got to where the two contractions were really bad to where I felt like I was going to faint because I got really weak after them. And I finally, like, I just kept telling him, I was like, I need the epidural. And they kept telling me, you know what? No, you need to try to wait a little bit longer. When I came in, I was basically already 3 centimeters dilated. And then also I was already 90% E phase. When you have your water break, they can't check you as periodically because they don't want to risk infection. So I couldn't get checked that often. And then they kind of went off statistics with me saying like, you're a first time mom, you're going to be in here for a long time. You probably won't deliver till tomorrow afternoon. And I was like, I'm already this far along. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to progress a lot faster than that. And I was really in pain, and my contractions were getting really close together. And I think by the time I got the epidural, my contractions were like 2 to 3 minutes apart, and I was dying. So yeah, I finally had them give it because they wouldn't give me the epidural. So I finally had them give me the pain medication because I was like, I need something to take off this edge because I was feeling horrible. And so they did that. Finally, around 10 o'clock, they gave me the epidural, and that's when I was 4 centimeters. They checked me, I was 4 centimeters, and they finally gave me the epidural. So I felt so much better, but oh my God, getting the epidural really sucks. It's painful. At first, when I got the anesthesia poke, I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. That's totally fine. But then I felt the other needle. And then they had trouble getting it in because I wasn't hunched over. So my spine didn't have enough space between it. So then we really had to hunch me over, and then we were finally able to get it in. But that wasn't the most fun, but the second it was in, I felt so much better. But then I started noticing around 11, 12 o'clock that I was getting a lot of pelvic pressure down there. And oh, by the way, when I checked in, they were telling me that they would probably have to give me, is it like Pitocin or something, to help with my contractions and help get me dilated, because they said a lot of women that have their water break, especially first-time moms, need medication to help them get, labor going. I didn't think that I would need it, and that's what they were preparing for. But then they found that at 10 o'clock that I was already 4 centimeters. They're like, oh, you won't need it now. So I'm like, sweet, because I heard when you do that, it's a lot more painful. That's what my mom told me. So yeah, they were totally going off of statistics with me. So after that, got the epidural, felt so much better. Around 11, 12 o'clock, I started noticing a lot of pelvic pressure, and my tailbone was really, really hurting, like really hurting. So they told me that if my tailbone's hurting, then she might have switched. So she was perfectly positioned before when I came in. So she was facing my back. So you want the baby's back to your stomach and facing your back like bone. And you don't want them sunny side up to where they're facing the front, because that will put a lot of pressure and it'll be a lot more of a painful delivery. So when I told her about my tailbone, she's like, okay, she probably flipped, so we need to get her to flip over. So what we did is I went on my side, they put my leg over the corner, and by the way, like they also like upped my epidural to where I couldn't even feel my legs. I was basically paralyzed down from my hips down, and so they had to move my legs for me. And they were just dead weight. But she had my leg flipped over the side, and then she would put down pressure, and we would sit there for a while. And then as I would feel it better, she flipped me over to the other side, and then I noticed that pain from my tailbone went away. So that meant she flipped around. So that really helped. So that's like a little tidbit for like a little heads up for any of you guys. If you notice that pain and you've never been in labor before, maybe try to figure out if that's what it is. But I was shocked. I was like, I didn't even know about that. But yeah, the most ideal way is them facing your back. So that relieved the pressure from the tailbone, but then I kept getting that pelvic pressure. And this was like 12:30, and she's like, let me know if you keep feeling the pelvic pressure. I don't want to check you right now because I really don't want to risk infection. Like I really don't want to check you that often. And she goes, just let me know because that means the baby's head's coming down. And so it's 12:30. And remember, I didn't hit like active labor until after 10, because I guess you don't hit active labor until 5 centimeters. So I didn't even know when I hit active labor. It was sometime after 10 because at 10 I was 4. So yeah, so basically she's like, I'll check you at 2:30 to see where you're at. And she's like, just let me know if you feel more pressure. So from 12:30 to 2:30, I kept getting that pressure and I was feeling my contractions down there. And the epidural didn't really help me that much down there. It just kind of felt like just a really heavy pressure and it was so uncomfortable. I was just in pain. And then my sister came in and talked to me and it was around like 2:30 and I was talking with her, watching TV in there. Joel was asleep. My mom and my mother-in-law were asleep in the waiting room. And all of a sudden the nurse came in at like 2:30 and she's like, okay, I'm going to check you real quick. So I'm like, all right. So she checks me and she's like, oh my God, there's a head. She goes, okay, we're going to start pushing. And I'm like, what? So yeah, head started coming down already at 2:30. So I must have had a really big contraction that brought me from that 4 and up like quickly. So I progressed pretty fastly. Like I had a pretty fast labor and delivery. So we did that. Ashley went and grabbed my mom and my mother-in-law. Joel woke up and we got everything set up, and they don't bring in the doctor until you get close to like where she's going to come out. And they say like usually first time moms are pushing for 2 to 4 hours. And I was like, 2 to 4 hours? I go, really? I go, you push for that long? I had no idea about this because I didn't take any classes. I was just kind of winging it. And so we got to where everyone's set up. We got to the pushing. So Joel held one leg, the midwife held the other, and then Ashley would come and like help the midwife out when she had to go back and forth. And you push every single contraction. So you hold your breath, barrel down, put your chin to your chest, and like push. So we did that, and by less than an hour, they brought in the doctor and I had her. She slipped right out. We didn't have to use forceps. She didn't have to pull her out. She literally just came out completely on her own in less than an hour. The doctor was shocked. You even see in the vlog, I don't know if I kept it in there, but you even see, she goes, I love it when people prove me wrong, because she's like, I wasn't expecting to come in here until tomorrow, like till the afternoon. And then she was even surprised with the pushing being so less than what it was. But I think because she was so far down already, because they weren't checking me, that she was already like coming no matter what. So I think that's what made my pushing less. But yeah, she came out really easily and just came right out. She weighed 6 pounds and 15 ounces. 20 1/4 inches long. So I was surprised. Like how I told you guys, I thought I was gonna have like a 7 pound to 8 pound baby. I was not expecting in the 6 pound range, but if honestly, when it hits 6 pounds and 16 ounces, they round up, they're putting it to 7. So she was almost 7 pounds. She was basically almost 7 pounds. But I was expecting a bigger baby, but she's so cute. She's so long and skinny. So a lot of the clothes, like I didn't buy her very many newborn clothes because I didn't think she would be in them for very long. But we ended up having to go get more of them. And the problem that we're having right now is that her belly is so little. Like she's so long and skinny. She reminds me of my husband. She's so long and skinny that everything fits her like pretty much lengthwise, but nothing fits her around the belly. So that's like the only thing is she just needs to get fattened up a bit. But yeah, so that was my birth story. It was really, really easy. My sister was like, oh my gosh, you made it look so easy. Like I didn't scream, I didn't do anything. I was just like, let's do this. Let's get this done with. And my mom was just like, are you kidding me right now? Like everyone kept saying that I had the easiest delivery. To me, it didn't feel like that because I felt the pain, but I had a pretty quick and easy delivery. So I had a really good experience. And now my sister is like, okay, I'm ready for a kid now, because she was really nervous about that. And she saw how easy it was. And now she's like, I could totally do this. So, I mean, that worked out. But I guess I was very fortunate there. And then I only have a 1st-degree tear. So it was like a very minuscule tear with only a couple stitches. I've just been really resting my body and not like overexerting it. And in 6 weeks, I'll find out if when I can start exercising and all that stuff. I'll get cleared, I'm sure, at 6 weeks to exercise and be active again. But yeah, so I'm still a little sore down there. My body honestly afterwards felt like it was hit by a truck. My back hurt so bad from the epidural, and it was just not fun. It hurt for a while after the epidural, and so did my tailbone. And so I had this little egg crate that I would sit on that really helped me out for a couple days, but that went away probably after 2 days. And my back pain went away about 4 days, I want to say. And but my soreness is still down there. Like, I notice, like, if I'm, like, getting off the bed too quickly or just move too quickly, I could feel it and it hurts. But that's all I'm really dealing with right now. What else? I didn't get any of the postpartum depression, although I have to say my hormones are a little out of whack because I can cry at the drop of a hat. Joel, even the other day, was going to dress Ryleigh, and I was like, no, you can't take that from me, because I love to dress her, and I nearly just almost started in tears. So yeah, that's like, if I could literally cry at the drop of a hat right now. I don't know why, but my hormones are like very heightened. I feel like I'm starting to get sick, but I think it's from the lack of sleep because I stay up with her, and she's a really good baby. She's a really, really good baby. She's not fussy, like uncontrollably. Like, you can get her to calm down like that. You can give her a passy, or I nurse her, or I hold her, but I can get her to calm down really quickly. So she's actually a pretty easygoing baby. With breastfeeding and everything that I've been doing, I have to use a nipple shield because when we had her, I had a feeling this was going to happen because I also talked to a lactation consultant beforehand. And I was tongue-tied as a baby, so I had a feeling she was going to be tongue-tied because there was a good chance of her being tongue-tied if I was. And she ended up having the same type of anterior tongue-tie that I had. So so that kind of made it harder for her to latch. Like, she can't really latch on to me as well, but she was able to latch on to the nipple shield perfectly. Like, we've been fine with the nipple shield. And you know how you get really sore and like hurt, like when you're just starting to breastfeed and you just have to kind of push through it? I only had that really bad soreness to where it was really painful when I nursed for 1 day, and now I'm perfectly fine. So we've had a really good, easy breastfeeding, like nursing experience, but that's because I've been using the nipple shield. And it's because she latches on easier with that. But we actually just got her tongue tie clipped, which was the worst experience ever. Like, it broke my heart because it made me so sad to see her in so much pain. But basically, they just go in there, they clip it, we go into another room, we immediately nurse her. They couldn't get her to latch without the nipple shield, so we put the nipple shield on and she nursed. And then I noticed throughout the day when I tried to nurse her, she was in so much pain while nursing. She would just kind of whimper, but she was so hungry, she still wanted to try to eat. She's very resilient and very, like, determined. Like, that's one thing I could tell from her personality already, just how she is, her mannerisms and her expressions. So I could tell she was in pain that whole day, and it broke my heart. And I was like, dude, we are in for it for tonight. Like, I'm not going to sleep at all tonight. But by the nighttime, she started feeling a lot better and was able to nurse a lot easier, which was really good. So it's been a few days now. She's totally fine. She's healing down there, and she's not having any complications. I am able to get her to latch sometimes without the nipple shield, and then sometimes she just can't. So she still has that difficulty with that. So I think that's what we're going to work on. But if I have the nipple shield, she latches like instantly. Like, it's super easy. She latches perfectly. It's not painful. She gets her milk. She nurses for like 20, 25 minutes. Honestly, at nighttime, she's probably nursing it depends. She comes in like little spurts. Sometimes she'll nurse like every like hour and a half or every 2.5 hours, and then she won't nurse for like 3-4 hours, and then we'll start nursing at 4:30 and 5:30 again. So I'll have like a good span in the middle of the night to like sleep. But I always set my alarm for 1.5 hours, and I let that wake me up, and I check her to make sure she's doing good. I look for her cues to see if she's wanting to breastfeed or not. So if I see that she's sound asleep, I leave her alone. That's what the pediatrician told me. They said wake her up every 3 hours during the day to feed. But at night, if she wants to sleep for 4 to 5 hours, let her sleep for 4 to 5 hours and wake her up, because she is latching on and nursing and gaining weight just fine. So that's what we're kind of doing. So I just kind of keep an eye on her, and I think that's why I'm not getting that much sleep, because I'm constantly worried, like, is she still breathing? Is she okay? So I'm always checking on her. She actually only dropped down to 6 pounds and 11 ounces while we were in the hospital until that Monday when we went to the pediatrician, and that's what they told us what she was. So she dropped down to 4 ounces, and then we saw the pediatrician in 2 days. So we saw her 2 days later, and she put on 4 ounces in 2 days. The pediatrician was shocked because she's like, usually it takes a lot longer than that. So that shows that she was eating and feeding really well. And also, it's also surprising too because she has jaundice, and then she also had the tongue tie, which those two things can really bring down their appetites and have them lose weight also. So she had those two things against her, and she still put on the weight. So that was good. I didn't really talk about the jaundice. Joel actually had jaundice when he was little, when he was a baby. And usually if you have a parent that has it, you are more likely to have it too when you're a baby. This poor little thing, what we did to her. But also she has an A positive blood type and I had an O positive blood type. So she was Kuhn's positive, which means that my antibodies fought hers because we were different blood types. So that also brings on jaundice. So she had jaundice. So we had her on the photolight therapy in the hospital. We were in the hospital for 2 nights. Just because we definitely could have left the night before, but since she had to be on that light machine, we kept her on it all day, all night, and then all the rest of the day until we checked out of the hospital. So she brought her levels right back up. She was really good. She recovered really quickly from it. And if they don't, then you have to bring that light machine home. But her levels ended up coming right back up to where she was in a safe spot. So we didn't have to bring it home, and it's nearly gone. It's still a little bit, like you can see the yellow still a little bit in her eyes, and you can see the tanness still in her face, but it's leaving the rest of her body now. So the rest of her body is definitely lighter and not as yellow, and then her face is like the last bit because it works its way down, so they know when it's like a troublesome area when it reaches the stomach and the waist, because then they're like, okay, that's really like, that's where you're gonna need the photolight therapy. But now it's worked its way to her head and it's slowly going away. So it should be away here, I wanna say, in like a week or so. She's been really good other than that, nursing well. She's really a good sleeper and has been actually a pretty easy baby so far. So knock on wood that stays the same. That's what I keep saying because I'm like, she's actually been pretty good so far. And I just have been having so much fun with her. I can't let her go. Like I'm always like, Joel's like, you're just always with her. I'm like, I can't be away from her right now. I'm just like, she's like everything, and I could just stare at her for hours. And yeah, so it's been quite the journey, and I really am going to start vlogging here soon at home, like vlogging like our time at home. And I really want to get footage of her too, because I know that this newborn stage is going to go by so quickly. I can't believe it's already been over a week now. Oh, it's crazy. We're going to go do newborn photos. We did some in the hospital because they had a photographer, but we're going to go do more. I'm waiting to get a call back from the one that I called earlier. So hopefully we can get that booked and get some more pictures of her. And I definitely want to do some more vlogging to just get videos of her because, again, she's not going to be this little forever, and I know it's going to fly by. And it's crazy. It's like, I feel like her looks are also changing each day. There's some days where she looks exactly like me, which I'll pop a picture right here of a little comparison photo, which is like crazy. She looks so similar to me. But then there's also moments where you definitely see a little bit of Joel in her. So I think she has his nose because he has like the best nose, which I'm like, yay. He also had he had the cutest little button nose as a baby. So I think she has his nose. I think she might even have his lips, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see how her looks and everything develop and what eye color she's going to get. She's got dark denim blue eyes right now, so I have a feeling they're going to turn brown. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to turn brown because he's got brown eyes. I have blue. But I think that's just like so much fun. You just kind of get to see like what you, like the life that you created and what she's going to look like. I think it's so much fun. And I love dressing her up too. But yeah, definitely follow me over on my vlog channel because I'll be definitely doing more over there with her. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot to catch you up on, like a ton to catch you up on. And yeah, I'm so excited, and thank you guys for your patience. I do have a couple more videos that I already pre-filmed, so you're gonna see like a difference. between me and there, because like honestly, like my water weight is like leaving. Like it's crazy how I'm not like crazy swollen anymore. Like my face was so swollen, my lips were huge, my lips have gone down a ton. Even my husband was like, he goes, your lips have gone down. I'm like, I know. That's like the one thing I really liked about being pregnant was how big my lips got. But like my face has gone down because it was really swollen. My hands, my feet, my legs, I can actually bend my legs now. And I was able to even get into clothes that I wasn't able, like pants I wasn't able to fit in my 3rd trimester because my legs were so swollen. Like they were so I was retaining so much water. So everything is like really going down now. And then in 6 weeks, I can start working out and trying to get my stomach flat again and like toned again. But yeah, until then, I'm just kind of just enjoying this time with her because again, I know that it's not going to last long. So I definitely want to get lots of videos of everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm pretty sure I caught you guys up on everything. Yeah, because there's a lot to talk about. But I think I caught you guys up on everything. So she's doing great. And yeah, so I will go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye.